Pet Paw Balm that actually works. If you have ever watched your dog hop across hot pavement or seen your cat lick cracked pads after a winter walk, you know paws take a beating. I started making my own protective salves years ago because store-bought options were either too greasy or full of stuff I could not pronounce. Homemade Paw Balm is simple, and it lets you control every ingredient that touches those sensitive little beans. Why paws need extra love? Paw pads look tough, but they are skin just like ours. Heat from sidewalks in summer can burn them in seconds. Ice melt and salt in winter dry them out and cause tiny painful cracks. Even daily walks on rough trails or playing fetch on tennis courts slowly wear the surface stain. When pads get dry, they lose grip and your pet starts slipping on tile floors. A good balm creates a breathable barrier that locks in moisture and keeps irritants out without making the floor a skating rink. What goes into a safe salve? I like to keep my recipe short and purposeful. Beeswax gives the balm its body and forms the protective layer. It melts around 145 degrees and hardens as it cools, so your balm stays solid in the tin but softens on contact with warm paws. Coconut oil is my go-to for slip and healing. It sinks in fast and has natural antibacterial properties that help with tiny cuts. If your pet is sensitive to coconut, you can swap in olive oil or sunflower oil with great results. Shea butter brings the deep conditioning. It is rich in vitamins and feels luxurious without being heavy. Dogs usually love the smell, which means less fuss during application. For extra soothing, I add a bit of calendula infused oil. Calendula flowers are gentle and famous for calming irritated skin. You can make the infusion at home by warming dried petals in your base oil for an hour, then straining them out. That is it. No fragrance, no essential oils, no weird additives. Cats are especially sensitive to essential oils, and many can be toxic even in small amounts. When in doubt, leave it out. How to make a batch at home? Grab a small pot and a heat-safe bowl for a double boiler setup. Measure equal parts beeswax, shea butter, and your liquid oil. I usually do 2 tablespoons of each for a test tin. If you live somewhere hot, bump the beeswax up a little so the balm does not melt in your bag. Melt everything slowly on low heat and stir until it looks like golden syrup. Once it is fully liquid, pull it off the heat and let it cool for a minute. Pour the mix into small tins or lip balm tubes and leave them on the counter for 20 minutes to set. This recipe fills about 3 1-ounce tins and keeps for a year in a cool cupboard. Using the balm the right way, timing matters more than amount. Apply a thin layer before you head out into harsh weather so the wax can shield the pads. Rub it in well and give your pet a treat to distract them for 60 seconds while it absorbs. If you skip the distraction step, you will find paw prints on your couch. After walks, wipe paws with a damp cloth to remove salt or dirt, then add another light layer if the pads look dry. For overnight repair, put the balm on right before bed when your pet is sleepy and less likely to lick. Most animals stop licking after a few tastes because the beeswax is not delicious. Quick safety checks. Every pet parent should know. Test a tiny dab on one paw first and wait a day. Redness or extra licking means try a different oil next time. Never use balm on deep cuts or open wounds because you can trap bacteria. For serious injuries, call your vet instead of DIY. If your dog is a dedicated licker, apply the balm, then slip on a pair of baby socks for 10 minutes. It gives the ingredients time to work and turns your pup into an adorable fashion model. Why homemade beats store? Bought for me. I love knowing exactly what is in the tin. My lab mix used to get crusty pads every December, and we went through tub after tub of commercial balm. Once, I switched to the simple recipe. His pads stayed soft all winter, and I spent about $3 per batch instead of $15. Plus, the tins make cute gifts for friends at the dog park. Final thoughts from one pet parent to another. Making protective salves for animal paws is not complicated, and the payoff is huge. You get healthier paws, fewer vet visits for cracked pads, and a pet who is comfortable on every adventure. Start with the basic recipe, tweak the ratios until you like the texture and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with the product you made yourself. Your furry friend will thank you with extra zoomies, and that is the best review any balm can get.